What's up, what's up, what's up, guys? Thank y'all for coming back. I love it when you guys come back and watch me. Guys, make sure you tune in to my second show that films right after this show, and that is Nightcap with YANA Lou and the crew, and that's with D-Dub, Lee Jones, and Pure Soul. We have a seat for a guest, and we're going to have a guest on the show tonight. Miss Carla's going to come on over, and she's going to dive into the hot topics of what we've been talking about. And we're going to have another guest dive on over there with us. That's right. And we talk about those things that you typically talk about behind closed doors that needs to be expounded on in front of the world, because some of that good stuff that you're talking about can heal somebody else. So guys, don't forget to tune in again. That show airs from 8:30 till 9:30, trying to push it to 10 o'clock because it is so juicy and good. But right now, I want to talk to my guest. I have Miss Carla here. She's a beautiful woman. She's an extraordinary woman. She graduated from ministerial class with me over there at Voices of Faith across the street from the studio under Gary Bishop Hawkins. She's a wonderful woman. I want to get you guys to understand the light on this woman and the anointing on this woman and the positiveness on this woman and how you can become the same thing in your own mirror, in your own shoes while walking with God, even through the tragedies. So without further ado, let's bring Miss Carla right on about. Hi, Miss Carla.
Well, hello, my love.
How are you? How are you?
I am great, and
Oh my
you?
God. I'm so happy to have you on the show.
And thank you.
Y'all, she's a fave of mine. So I'm going to get real jiggy with him. I mean, Carla, I wanted to bring you on here because I wanted to put the spotlight on you. Not just the fact that, you know, we went to church together, we've done some things together, was in ministerial and training class together under Bishop Gary Hawkins. But one of the things that I wanted to point out is you as a single mother going through all that, and that the power that you had and the strength that you had and the time that you had to make, you know what I'm saying, happen to be the mom, to be the cook, to be the counselor, still be in class, because, you know, they told us we miss so many Saturdays, you can forget it. You're going to start all over next year.
Correct. Correct.
Same thing, Voices of Faith don't play. But, you know, I like to put the spotlight on the people who are doing something great, and I commend you for that because that was a heavy walk, you know, with you, you know, taking your life from being just Carla and the mom, you know what I'm saying, and then adhering to that calling.
Yes.
That was a big step. What was that step like, adhering to the calling and saying, I'm going to turn away from my regular life and I'm going to go ahead and answer God? What was that like?
Well, initially, I kind of struggled with that because, you know, I was living my best life, you know what I mean? And then, you know, I got involved in church, and then I started taking classes. And what actually changed my life around is when we did the discipleship class.
Dissecting it.
Yes. Oof. Yes. And in that class, when I was in there, because, you know, that class was like a year. And even then, I think the second book is when we talked about the different personalities.
Within us.
Yes, yes. And it was, I think I was the worldly Christian. So I had kind of one foot out in the world, and then I had, you know, but I was consistent with coming to church.
Right.
And and I didn't like that. And because I thought, you know, I was on the right road.
Right.
You know.
I can do this.
Yeah, but, you know, learning that I was straddling, and that was my turnaround.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my turnaround.
So you're saying that you weren't liking the fact that you had a foot out and a foot in. So it was like a self-battle on the inside to where you just like, let me just give on up.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, because, you know, I was, like I said, I was out there.
Doing your own.
Yeah, I was out there,
fun,
you know.
guys.
Yeah. So I was like living my life like, you know,
yeah,
we live our lives and, you know, in the clubs, partying.
And doing our thing.
Oh, yeah.
Honey, these teeth. Let me tell you something. God must got a sign. Let me look to the audience too, because baby, Anitra came on here last night. The girl teeth just gleaming all at me. I guess they're saying, Yana, go get that chip tooth fixed. Patrick tell me every week. Patrick tell me every week, and when people get on the show, they be like, oh, she's so pretty on screen when they get in front of the face. They be like, she got a chip tooth. Yes, I do. Thank you for coming in with some clean teeth. But I tell y'all, I'm so funny. I tell you, but Carla, the turnaround. I'm gonna get back serious. But the turnaround. Now, that was that difficult for you to turn around and to say, look, I'm gonna stop going into clubs, and how was that with your friend base? Because I know that's a difference if you're going out with the friends, and if you are, saying, well, I want to stay home, but my friends, and what was that conversation like with your friends when you decided to just turn all the way around?
Well, you know what? I remember this one particular event that we were going to. And I kind of struggled. It's like, I know, I didn't want to go. Like something was saying not to go. And then I had my friends over here saying, like, you hadn't been out with us for a long time, so you can go. And like, we're going to go to dinner and then we're going to go,
right.
to the club. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll just do the dinner part.
Right. Because
that's what I told myself.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to just do the dinner part. And so I did go to dinner, and then when I got to dinner again, it's like, oh, you should come. And so I let them persuade me. But it was funny. So we get to the club, and we sitting in there, and, everybody's dancing, and, people coming up to everybody, but nobody came up to me.
Wow.
That particular night. And I was just kind of like just sitting there. So it was me and another girl. We was just kind of sitting there, and she started talking to me, and she was like, we shouldn't be here.
You could feel it.
Yeah. And that's what she said to me. She said, we shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're right. Because I was struggling prior to coming. So that was my answer not to go. But, I allowed my friends to persuade me. And so her and I, as we were talking, I said to her, so soon as they come back, because we was watching everybody's purses.
Right.
And she's
designated drivers.
Yeah. We was designated purse watcher. And so I told her, I said, you go ahead on and leave. And once they come back, then I'm going to get up and go. And on that particular night, I got up and I left, and I've not been back.
Not been back at all. And so turning your life around from that life and or living for God, how has that been for you? What's the difference?
You know what? Basically, there's no difference. It's just that I serve God now. Totally. Because I do still go to functions. Like I love music. Right. So like when there's a concert, I go.
You enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I go and I enjoy myself. Right, exactly. Because, the things are here. And I think God knows, that we are going to partake.
That's right.
But it's how you partake.
Not too much.
Exactly. So I go and I listen because, I love music. I've always been a music lover. So.
And a cute little dancer, y'all. She got a little jig with her. She can dance.
And so I still partake. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's refreshing because some people think that once you give your life to Christ, they feel as though you can't live anymore. And I don't want them to think that they can't live anymore. That's why I'm so grateful that you said that it's nothing changed except for your decisions on some of the things that you do and how you do it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
So that's good. That's safe
because
to say.
you know what? God knows that we are here on this earth.
That's right.
And so, it's just how you handle yourself when you're doing things. Like, do I go in the club? No. No, I don't do that. But will I go listen to music, live music? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that. And if somebody's having a party, I go. Like my friend just had her retirement party last Friday. I went.
And you enjoyed yourself.
And I enjoyed myself. And I get up and I dance because I love to dance. I dance because it's like if I can't be around other believers and partake and have fun, then...
Right. What's the point of living?
Exactly.
Because then we're just faking ourselves out.
Exactly.
Now, Carla, tell the people how it is when you're talking about diving into yourself. When we say die to ourselves daily, what is that speaking to people? What is that saying? What are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to die to ourselves daily?
Well, to die to yourself daily means when you get up. I know for me, first thing when I get up in the morning, I thank God for the day because number one, He'd have to give it to me. And then I go into my devotion. And from my devotion, then I get up and I start my day. And even in my prayer time, I tell God, you got to help me because, we're both, we're flesh. Right. And so just to help me, and in my process, it's been a process. I think about like when you look at a butterfly. Yeah. The transformation of the butterfly because the butterfly don't just come here being. And that's the same thing God does to us.
That's right.
You know, he takes us through a process to get us to where he need us to be. And sometimes even in our process, sometimes you think, oh, I know for me, sometimes I'll be like, okay, God, I have it, I got it.
Yeah.
And then he comes with something else.
Yeah, like
Yeah. So it's I've learned that it's an ongoing process. And so daily I get up and I try to make sure that I treat people right and how I want to be treated, and to walk in love, because God is love. And that's what he expects us to do, to walk in love.
That's right. That's right. I like it, because, for the most part, a lot of people, we've been going through a lot of things in this world, and things have changed. And so from this point, I just want everybody to know how to cope, how to get through, and to be able to have a minister on set and have you here to teach us and talk to us about, just a walk of life, a change in life for the greater good, and not looking at things as for what they physically are, and keeping our minds stayed on God, because putting the spotlight on somebody like yourself is amazing, because you can interpret those things to people so they can digest it and be able to heal themselves from a different way of thinking of their own. So, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think we have to look at life like we're on a journey. And on this journey that you're on, you need help.
Yeah.
Because the word of God tells us that. It says, look to the hill for which cometh my help cometh from the Lord.
Amen.
So, which means we need help on this journey. We can't do it by ourselves.
Come on now.
Okay? So you make him first, where that you go to him, because he also tells us in the word in 1 Peter, to lay all your cares on him, because he cares.
Yes.
So I don't care what it is that you're going to. Now, I had to learn this, because, I would take him some things, and then I'll fall apart on some things. But I had to learn how to take everything to him. So even down to the fact, if someone makes me upset, God gonna know about it that night before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, God, she really made me upset. Because the word says, what? Lay all your cares on him. And so I think if we can get to the place where you learn that, and whatever it is, you give it to him, and you allow him to handle it, because sometimes, we're in the flesh.
Right.
And we think we can take care of things and take care of somebody, but
and we're doing
it's
too
not
much.
our place. Exactly.
And he trying to do something else, and we over here
Right,
meddling.
right. And then sometimes I have to keep in my mind, sometimes it's like, okay, God, don't let me fail this test.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Because I'm like, okay, you tested me. I'll tell him that sometime. Okay, are you testing me? Or sometimes I may talk with someone and be like, don't fail the test.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and I think we as women, we need to put ourselves around other women who can speak into you and encourage you.
Come on.
And uplift you
Yes,
when you're going through things. Because sometimes we want to isolate ourselves and be by ourselves, and that's not good. Isolation is not good.
Yeah.
Because when you isolate yourself, then who's talking to you? See what I'm saying? And so,
Well, God talked to me, because that's all I do. I isolate.
well, that's a
myself,
good
talk to
thing
him,
that
yeah.
he talks to you. But
But
sometimes,
what you're saying, I do understand. Some people don't know to call on him.
Right. Sometimes the enemy will isolate you, and he wants to isolate you because he wants to get you to a place where he has you by yourself.
That's right.
And then he just constantly beats you down. And but if you surround yourself around some positive thinking women, who can speak into you,
That's right.
and that people that you can be vulnerable with. And I think that's what we as sisters have to get to, a place where we can just love on each other.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Right.
That's very important. Sisters, wherever you are in this world, wherever you are in this life, I think you need to take heed to what Minister Carla is saying, because we do need that.
Right. We need each
In
other.
the room, we need each other. We walk in the room, we'll judge each other from head to toe in 2.5 seconds and don't even know each other, and been summed it up all wrong.
Right, exactly.
And so we miss opportunities of smelling the roses, because we're all a different flower.
Exactly.
We miss opportunity of smelling the flowers because we're too busy judging it because of our own personal insecurities. Ladies, we got to stop that.
Right.
So, Minister, how do you think that we could fix that? Because that is something that I think that all women really need to tap into, and we get lost in the sauce sometimes, because if we're in a state of depression, like when I go into a state of depression, I don't want to be around anybody, because I don't want to put my stuff on to somebody I care about. And then I need to only hear from God. I only want to sit with me until he tell me to go sit with such and such. I'm going to pray, I'm going to fast, and I'm going to sit still. And then I'm going to keep myself in an arena of praise and worship in the word consistently. I'm going to stay in the arena of word. But I'm not going to reach out to anybody until after I done prayed and fasted and sat still and he done lined that person up. Because sometimes when I do it, minister, while I'm waiting on somebody, they'll just come up to me.
Right.
And I'm not even looking for it. Like I'm looking for it. My heart is looking for it. The situation is looking for it.
Yeah.
But I'm not physically out there like, what are you personally, where you be? They just come to me because I'm sitting still.
Right. And what you said what's so important is the fact that you were spending time with God. So God knows your concerns. And so what he does, he sends your destiny helpers to you. And so if a female is not in the place like where you are, then I think they have to figure out what works best for them. You know what I mean? Because I was one of those ones too. They would isolate, and then no, God said no isolation. And so now I found myself being more vulnerable.
Right.
And don't ask me. I can remember I was going through that divorce. Don't ask me how I was doing. Because
hallelujah to him.
It's just your natural thing to just say, oh, I'm fine.
Right.
But then I got to a place where I'm not fine.
Right. You got to tell the truth.
Yeah, I'm not fine. You know what I mean? But God had me around women that were speaking to me, even when I would say that.
Yeah.
And then, even when and sometimes I was around people who would see me kind of trying to pull away to be by myself, and they wouldn't allow me to
fall in that rut.
Yeah, they be like, no.
Snatch you right up. No,
right.
We're not doing
yeah,
that.
no, you're not. No,
because
you
they
coming.
were fine.
Right.
So they were able to help you get back to being fine.
So exactly. And so I would say to females, if you're not in a place where they can do like what you were saying, then figure out what best worked for you, and then sometimes it's okay to go get some counseling.
I used to say it's not all the time it's good.
Yeah.
Carla, I had to learn that counseling is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself besides eating and drinking water.
Exactly.
For real.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have anybody in order to pour all this gunk, let me tell y'all something. When you got stored up stuff, y'all, this is gunk. And when you have gunk stored up in you, you're going to eat junk.
Right.
And when you have junk, when you eat junk, you're going to grow a trunk.
Right.
So if you want to do the right thing, then work out and get lean. And then you're going to hang around people with clear minds, clear thinking. Their conversation is on something totally different.
Right.
And then you're going to be healthy.
Exactly.
But to keep gunk. Guys, we're going to go commercial here. And I got to get this off my tongue. But we're going to go commercial. And we're going to come back because I want Miss Carla to talk about her podcast show and how she came about healing and starting her mental health healing with her own show to help others, thus like this show. We'll be right back live 5 with you and Chat with YANA Lou in just a second. I hope y'all had a good time on commercial break, guys. I have enjoyed myself with Miss Carla. She is amazing. I want to dive right back into her. We have another guest coming up after her. We have the commissioner coming up here in a second. I'll give her a proper introduction in just a second. But I want to dive back into Mrs. Carla because this is a healing conversation for people who are going through some stuff and just didn't know how to make it through. So, Carla, I'm glad we're back from commercial. I'm glad you didn't get up and run away. If she did, I was going to chase the brightness of her teeth. Y'all see how pretty they are? Look at that smile, girl. Good Lord, okay? Thank God for the blurriness over here. You know we act a fool. I love it, baby. I do. I love it. You know, guys, when you could have a minister sit on a panel and still be real, you got to have a spotlight. You got to have a spotlight because you're not making us feel nervous. You're not making me feel like, oh my God, I better not say that. You know, you're making me feel genuine. It's a warm feeling, and it's nice to have you here because some ministers, I be like, oh shit, oh shoot, darn, you know, you know,
I'm gonna get you that T-shirt.
Keep it a T-shirt, girl. I promise you. So it's good to have you here to be relatable. Minister Carla, because a lot of times you can have ministers, some ministers are theologians and they know how to teach the word in a classroom, but then some ministers are deliverers and they know how to deliver it across the pulpit. And I thank you for your warmness, being able to be open and to break the word down so people can understand in simplicity form. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So talk to me about your podcast. What brought about the podcast?
Well, you know, I was a part of another group, and it disbanded. And so I was having a conversation with God, like, okay, God, now I got all this stuff in me.
Right.
All this information.
What you want me to do with it?
What you want me to do with it? So, and so from there, then that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to do a Facebook Live and deal with issues that we as women deal with and from a Christian perspective.
Amen.
Right. And let's deal with some of this stuff so that we can heal. And you know, and move on and have a great life.
Yes.
And so from there, it was June 2020 is when I went live on Facebook.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yay.
And so I do the show, second Wednesday, every fourth Wednesday of the month. 30 minutes. Just do 30 minutes.
Give them your social media handles so they can tap into you. Are we able to tap into you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all tap into her, please.
Carla Hunter.
There y'all go.
Carla Hunter. On
Facebook.
Right. Yeah, on Facebook. Right.
And she's pretty. Y'all see the pretty face. So and she always dressed up. So you know you're gonna find her quickly.
Yeah.
Carla Hunter. So some of the issues that you guys are dealing with. I mean, do you tap into sex? Do you tap into age? Do you tap into mental health? I mean, what are some of the things that you guys are?
Well, you know, this year my platform kind of changed a little bit.
Okay.
So this year I've dealt with like beauty.
That's serious.
And
a lot of women don't like themselves. That's serious. Good girl.
I dealt with beauty, and I think, and then I just did Wednesday. This Wednesday just passed. I was talking about the eclipse.
Okay.
And I just showed everybody in the Word where it's in the Word.
Okay.
It's like, you know, with the body of Christ. Look, there's no need for us to be running crazy and upset and listen to all this stuff that be out on social media that's, you know, to put fear in us. We have to understand that it's in the Word. It's going to be fulfilled. Since so you know that, so we're going to sit and we're going to watch and then we're going to be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was the big turnaround about the eclipse? Why is people scared?
Well, you know what, me flipping through social media, people were talking about, you know, all this stuff gonna happen and, you know, God. And bad things are gonna take place and, you know, things like that. And
y'all need to stop scaring the minister because y'all full of it with all that malarkey. I'm serious. They doing too much, Carla.
Yeah, but you know,
the world going in and all this.
Right, exactly. Because as a matter of fact, today as I was kind of flipping through social media, and as a matter of fact, this young lady lived in California and she got up that morning, stabbed her fiance, threw her kids out of a moving car, and then she ran her car, hit something where it killed her. Yes. It was on the news.
You said that was...
It was on the news.
It was on the... But you said that was your cousin?
No, it wasn't my cousin. I just saw it on social media.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Everybody raging.
Because she thought the world was going to end.
So she was going to take him out herself?
Oh, no, she did.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So she thought it was going to end, so she was going to take him because she wouldn't want to bear watching nobody else take him. You idiot. I mean...
But it's like, see,
Lord,
when you have misinformation...
Yeah.
And you're not in your word, that's why God tells us
you see why I said,
study,
to
show yourself approved. Yeah. Because when they went through her social media and things that she was posting,
misunderstood.
Yes. So you done took your boyfriend's life, your children's life, and your life.
Guys, look, I'm going to be Joe Osteen right quick. Get in a good Bible-based church. and learn your word.
Exactly.
If you do not have a church that you feel comfortable because of COVID-19 has took us to another place, just get in your word.
Yes.
Get in a private place by yourself and put you some jazz on, throw some baked cookies or something on so you can sit still. The anticipation of that word is something else. Let me tell y'all something. When I started diving into that word, sis, I was so thirsty for it. I was so thirsty because when I started reading the word, it was so relatable to my life today. And I was like, what in the world? I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Guys, let me tell y'all something. Patronize Minister Carla. Go on Facebook. Miss Carla Hunter. Please go on there. You know her face. It's on her Facebook page. Tap into her live podcast. I have enjoyed having you down here.
Well, thank you.
I have enjoyed.
Thank
Is there
you.
any shout outs that you want to give? If you want to give somebody some shout outs, tell somebody some hey, some love, and all that good scrumptious stuff. Like, I love it.
Well, I'm gonna give a shout out to my sister Patricia Henderson. She's down there in Louisiana doing her thing with
Patricia.
young women too. But she got the young, she got the
She got the
younger
babies.
girls. She got the younger girls
Good
that
stuff.
she's pouring into. So hi, sister, and hi, my big sister, and hi, my children,
Hey,
Kayla and
sis, hey,
Sherri.
kids.
Hello.
Yeah, Kayla and Sherri, mwah, mwah. Auntie Yana, love y'all, mwah. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. By way of hope, well, babies, and then to voices of faith all day long.
Yes.
Guys, we have had a wonderful time down here with Sister Hunter. I'm going to definitely have her to come back and let's maybe bring the choir with her, some of her people that can sing. She's also in the choir, Miss Shante. Yeah, she's a handful of greatness, guys. So tap into her. Go, like I said, to her Facebook. Go look at Mrs. Hunter and tap into her because she's doing some wonderful things. She has a wonderful word to spread. She's reaching out to the women and the youth and just want to make sure that you guys are up and coming up right because for you ones that did not have anybody to tell you, she is a liaison to give you the information so that you can get that knowledge. Carla, I just wanted to thank you so much for coming down here
It's
today.
been great.
Yes,
It's been
yes,
great.
Yes, yes.
Thank
We'll be
you,
right
my
back
love.
live, guys.
Thank you.
And we'll be back from commercial. We're going to have our next guest with us, and she's going to be just as beautiful and so scrumptious. Yes, and you'll be learning something from a commissioner. Yes, Miss Sherri, she is amazing. She is beautiful. She is full of fun, and she is real, and that's what I like, and she's authentic. So we'll learn some things about Fulton County and what she likes.
Rockdale.
I got a mind blurb. Patrick's gonna kill me. She is the commissioner woman for Rockdale County. Okay, I wanted to say that so smooth, and I messed it up. So I love y'all, guys. We'll be right back live 5 with Yana Lou in commercial, and Miss Sherri will be here with us. She is the commissioner of Rockdale County. I cannot wait to have her on the panel for us to talk to her and find out more interesting things about Rockdale County and her N5. Welcome back, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I had to grab my head, honey, because the hot guest is in this chair right now. I'm telling you, I told you I had Miss Sherri down here. She is the commissioner of Rockdale County. What
Hello,
a blessing.
how are y'all?
What a blessing, guys, because right now, let's bring her right on. Miss Sherri, you look so beautiful.
Trying to be like you and Miss Carla.
Look,
you are amazing.
Look, if I could get amazing like y'all girls, y'all are thick and everything, and I'm gonna be looking like a piece of firewood, but it's
you
okay.
look amazing. You look absolutely wonderful.
I love y'all. I love y'all.
Even your when I was looking at you on Instagram, all of the light and the love and everything, it was beautiful. So,
Everybody,
you look good.
you know, and I love everybody. You know what I tell people? I'm the people star.
Oh yeah.
I'm not mine. I'm theirs. And the Facebooks and the TikToks and the Instagrams and stuff, I put that out there so they can see their own superstar. They can tell me what they want to see me in, what they want to see me do, I do whatever. But it lets them know the personality of the person, that it's
exactly.
authentic.
Yeah.
Because when you see me on Chew and Chat, that's just a show.
Right.
But when you go on TikTok and Instagram, you know, you become yourself. You'll forget you're recording TikTok.
Absolutely.
And you be yourself, you hear me? So I allow myself to give myself to them so that they can know that they're a part of me.
Absolutely.
And when I go places, they follow me. That's my crowd. That's my people. That's my
good.
cheerleaders.
It's always good to have a base because it's that base that will lift you up and sustain you when you're going through those hard times. So absolutely, that's great that you have
She is
that.
so beautiful, guys. Like,
Oh, thank you.
I mean, look like a little star. Her and Carla, God gave me some beautiful women on the panel today, and she
Absolutely.
smells good. I wanted to steal Carla's shoes and her outfit and perfume. That part.
Well, thank you.
Well, Commissioner, I'm so grateful to have you on the show. Like I say, Commissioner of Rockdale County, guys, please give her some big ups for that
Thank
African American
you.
woman in this position.
The first one, the first African American female in Rockdale County as the commissioner. So
Let me tell you something about that. Thank you for telling me that you're the first, because I've broken history. Patrick and I have broken history. So this young woman have interviewed the first African American commissioner, you, Rockdale County.
Right.
I have interviewed the first mayor of Stone Mountain, Beverly
Absolute-
Jones.
absolute
Her first, second week of her getting house, she came on our show.
absolutely, she's wonderful.
I had Dunya Sauter here before everything went on and prayed
That's
her into the place. So.
My sorority sister, and I love Danya. Absolutely.
And so I've interviewed John Eves, running for Democratic Party Secretary of State, in his first.
Absolutely love.
So I've broken history.
Absolutely,
You know,
you have done.
I've interviewed all the African American positions for the first time in their place in house.
Absolutely, that's beautiful.
God is
Absolutely,
good.
all the time.
God is
all
good.
the time.
You see
all
how
the
he
time.
does that thing?
All the time.
And I'm telling guys, on social media, she is amazing. She is awesome. She's killing it. She's doing her thing. And I cannot say enough. And we linked up, you know, on this thing. And we're complimenting each other on here. And you can really talk to somebody and really get to know somebody on these social media handles to where you don't even have to use the TV no more.
Absolutely, I don't. I rarely watch the news. I get my news on social media, but it allows you to be fortified the way you need to be fortified. I don't think I ever miss anything, but I can skip over, or I can delve into the things that I need to delve
the
in.
meat.
The other part of it is that I get to use people that I know that I trust to get my story out the way I need it to get out. And so that's the other great part about social media. So
Yeah. You
I'm
get to
enjoying
explain
that.
yourself. We don't have to have the popes or different people advocating for us.
Absolutely.
We really need to live it like God said, live it. Now that we proclaim Jesus and he's ours, he's mine, he's mine.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
his. It doesn't matter what it is, because he only sees me. Okay, for who we
Absolutely.
are, right?
Absolutely.
So now we get to get our story out. Tell me a little bit of your backstory before you became the commissioner of Rockdale County.
So, you know, you talked about Carla being a single mom going into the ministry. So I started my collegiate career at Spelman.
Amen.
I spent 3.5 years at Spelman. I conceived a child, and I couldn't afford Spelman and the baby. So
Right.
the baby and I transferred to Savannah State, where I was, my sister was at Savannah State, so she helped me with my daughter. I received my bachelor's and my master's degree from Savannah State, worked for the city of Savannah, and then eventually came back up to and worked for the city of East Point. While I was in the city of East Point, something said, Sherri, you might be getting cuter, but you're not getting any younger. If you want to go to law school, you need to go ahead and go to law school. So Texas Southern gave me a little bit of money, and I packed up my, I loaded up my truck and moved to Houston instead of Beverly. It was Houston.
Okay. So, I used to watch that show. Honey, I love it.
Actually, at that time, my daughter didn't want to come, so she wanted to stay with her dad and her grandmother, which that's another whole nother part of the story, because, well, I'm in Houston. My daughter's found her grandmother deceased. She was living with her father and found her grandmother deceased. So I was so glad she got to spend that time with them. And then 3 years later, her father passed away. So I was so glad that she got to spend that time with them.
So it was meant for her to go there.
Absolutely. And I don't think our relationship would be the same. Out of all the things I've done in my life, my relationship with my daughter, my grandson are the best things ever. But eventually I actually am licensed in Texas. I was going to stay in Texas, but my sister was ill. She had sickle cell.
Okay.
And she was pregnant with her third child. And the first 2 pregnancies were horrible. So I said, let me come back and, wait for my bar results. I had just taken the Texas bar, wait for my bar results. And then, I'll go back to Texas. Meanwhile, my daughter is going to high school at that time. So she's, playing basketball and doing all this other stuff. So I was like, well, let me, sit for Georgia Bar too. I didn't go back to Texas. I stayed here, and I'm licensed in right now Texas and DC.
Nice.
Yeah. So
You see why the spotlight has to be on?
well,
see?
I've gone. So let me, in all transparency, I was licensed in Georgia, and then I'm going through some stuff with my Georgia license right now. And so when you talk about dark times and God bringing you through and all those things, I had to go through all of that and understand that, it was a mental, spiritual, and physical darkness that I went through, and I'm on the other side. So
Like a
it's
personal
good.
sabbatical.
Yeah,
That test
absolutely.
of faith. He has to take us.
Absolutely. But
We are nothing if we don't go through those tests.
absolutely. So when, a lot of people, they put you in this pedestal, because of course, when I'm going through all of that with my license, I'm the commissioner and, all of this. And so it was very public, very scary, but I'm working on, eradicating doing everything I need to do to get the license back in order. And like I said, I'm still licensed in Texas and DC, so still that.
Amen. Amen. How do one fathom the beginning and the end when you see the darkness in your face? How do you fathom the light?
So for me, I understand that, well, I had to begin to understand that the light is within you. It's not a degree. It's not a license. It's not a anything. It's nothing that can be taken from you.
That's
like
right.
That light is me waking up every day, understanding that I'm here because I need to manifest the goodness that God has put in me.
Come on now.
And that goodness may be by practicing law, but it's also by being the best commissioner that I can be. It's by caring for people. It's about bringing up great policies for the county. It's by being present, bringing great, not just good jobs to Rockdale County, great jobs to Rockdale County. It's by doing all the things that I do every day as commissioner that I'm not, that most people don't do. Like
Right, you take the extra step. You go the extra mile.
Exactly.
You have a
So-
heart to care. Now, so tell the people what all encompasses with a commissioner's job.
Everything. So I get calls for, one of the things that I've been working hard on this week, for the last 2 weeks, so there's a lot of development going on all over Metro Atlanta.
Yes.
There's a lot of building. Rockdale County was kind of insulated because we didn't have a lot of infrastructure that would have supported a lot of development for a long time. So we're fixing infrastructure. But one of the things, so it seemed like it was a whole lot of development going on at one time in Rockdale County. But what people didn't understand is that we had so many years of no development, and then a lot of it
you're
came.
catching up.
Right, so we're really just catching up, and we're still behind. That being said, this lady who lives in an older subdivision believes that there's a new subdivision that's affecting her house. She believes that them moving the dirt
Shifting.
is shifting her house. So, that's huge, especially because she's a cancer survivor and she has 2 children on the spectrum. Her husband is the only person working. And so they can't afford to fix anything.
Right.
So for the past 2 weeks, I've been calling everybody. I've called DCA. I've called, that's Department of Community Affairs. I've called just everybody I can, trying to find work, because we can't stop the development, because there's no way of us knowing for sure that they're affecting her house.
Right.
But I'm trying to find resources that will help us. So that's one of the things. The planning and development, how now I don't want Rockdale County to be a Gwinnett County or DeKalb County or Fulton County or even Henry County. I want Rockdale County to still retain some of its southern kind of quaint charm, but still have places. I want it to grow in places, but I still want it to feel like when you go to your subdivision or your house that you are in a community.
Okay.
One of the things I love about
Like
my
a family environment.
right, I want it to be that. So instead of we're tasked now with creating those environments. So one of the things that I did was put on the regulations for townhomes, making it so that you have to have so much open space and green space and tree canopies and things like that. So when a developer comes, they're not just throwing up anything. We have these standards. And I want to
Because pretty
delve.
soon we're not gonna know what a tree is.
It's like, so I want to delve deeper into that. I want to figure out how we can incentivize to do more tree canopies, more green spaces. Do we do land trust or whatever? So that like I said, that Rockdale County still has a quaintness to it as it develops.
That old school Southern feel.
Yeah, so I want to keep that, but it's hard because you have all these landowners who own 600 acres or 300 acres. So when a developer sees 300 acres, they want to put as many houses as they can on the 300 acres. So we have to push back. And then I don't want Rockdale County to be in a place where developers don't want to come because so the city of Atlanta is supposed to by 2050 have almost 2 million more people come to Atlanta.
And where they gonna put them?
That's my point. It's 200, and so when you listen to the ARC, the Atlanta Regional Commission, they're telling you there's plenty of space in it because we're not
As occupied as they say.
as right, because there are places like Rockdale County that has plenty of land.
Yeah.
There are places like Hall County that has plenty of land. So my goal is to be a place where we have standards, but we still retain some of the quaintness. So we have to push back a little bit on development. And at one point we had so much coming at one time. We had to, slow it down a little bit because we don't want to be a place where developers don't want to come. Because if you don't grow, if you don't bring in nice developments, then you get to be a place where people can be and not where they want to be. And that's the trick.
That's when you get the trick and the mess and the two different dynamics of people and...
Right. What else we do? I'm huge on economic development, bringing in, during my tenure, since I've been doing economic development, the second term, I've brought in close to $2 billion worth of high-end, nice jobs to Rockdale County. Transportation. When I started 7 years and 5 months ago, 4 months ago.
Does it feel like it's been that long?
Absolutely not. We had 2 transportation projects on the books. We had Sigmund Road, and then they kept for 25 years at that time. They kept talking about this flyover that they were going to do. So since then, now we have $355 million worth of transportation projects in Rockdale. So we do a lot. And
so she on her job. And look how humble she is, Miss Hunter. She just go right back to her cute smile. And I mean, you're just adorable.
Well,
I love the humbleness.
Thank you.
Now, is there anything that you haven't seen that you would like for them to bring about? Is there some
Absolutely.
things? What's some things that you would like to have?
So I am praying for, and
I'm gonna come in agreement with you. What
no, this is coming. Hopefully, it's coming. I want a performing arts center.
Yeah.
So that we can have nice concerts, be it jazz, gospel, rock and roll, whatever, with a mixed-use development with places you can go and really get some nice food and some nice, have, just a good time out, get food. I would love to have a natatorium where we can have swim meets, but my vision for a natatorium is you have it on one side, you have the swim meet, like the Olympic-sized pool where you can have the contest, but on the other side, you have something for
The public.
where you can have like if we wanted to have a pool party, we could have a little pool party. I don't know
Without
if-
damaging the swim people stuff.
Right, and it'll have like the little river thing around it, but you know, just or not a pool. Like I see Miss Hunter's face, not that kind of pool party, but you know, just like a nice little venue, like or you bring your family during the day, and you could just sit out
Like
and,
the little pool party on Who's Aaron Carter. If y'all
Right.
saying Who's Aaron Carter, they have the nice little casual little pool
yeah,
party,
just
the adults
something
walking around.
you just
and
have
it's just
right, just
kids
you just
are
have
in the pool.
The pool is just the accessory.
Icebreaker, yeah.
But anyway, so or if you want to get in the water, you could pay for lifeguards, then get in the water. But
There you go.
anyway, so those are two of the things that I would really like to see in the county. That's a lot of work, but I think we deserve it. I think Rockdale County deserves to have the best of everything, and I think that we're now, as a county, realizing that we deserve to have the best of everything.
Deserves to happen. Okay.
The big thing is our taxes, though. You know, taxes. That's what commissioners do, set those millage rates.
They do. You do. I tell you, it's beautiful that you guys are stretching out and giving the people, you know, an opportunity and a voice. You know, how often do you guys do like town meetings to hear the people and to, you know, pull some of those tickets out the hat?
So for me, I pride myself on trying to have town meetings. When I first started, I used to have tea with the commissioner once a week, and it would, for a long time, it was just me. So I was like, yeah, I'm wasting my time. But so then I started doing quarterly town halls, and then I would love to see more people. Last year I did, and then we had 2 years of the pandemic, and I didn't really do anything. So last year, I started doing coffee with the commissioner, and we started doing more coffee engagement, and still only a few people. So now I'm trying to go to homeowners association meetings or things like that. So I try my best to engage. I have a newsletter where I try to put out, you know, different things that I've done. But I think I'm super accessible. I give my cell phone number, my personal cell number. I give people email me all day. You know, I'm on Facebook, on social media, and.
Do you get a lot of kickback being an African American in your position, being the first time? Do you get a lot of kickback when you try to bring things about for the community? Or does it go in your favor?
So because we're a majority minority, I don't get a lot of kickback unless it's something that the others didn't want. So
Didn't want us to have.
or didn't. So we're over, like I said, zoning.
Yeah.
Recently, there was two things that the others didn't want that I thought were good for the county.
Okay.
One of them was this lady who I've been to her house, and I know she has a horse farm, and she wanted to start doing weddings at her horse farm, and it would be small weddings. She couldn't have more than, I think we capped the number at 75 people. The wedding the hours would be between 10 and 10, and her driveway is longer than this entire building.
Wow.
It's a beautiful place. And her neighbors, who are, when I tell you her neighbors are very far away from her, they didn't want her to do it for whatever reason. And so they were very upset with me. And it was not nice. When
you get you go through some stuff, being in this position, being an African American woman in this position for your first time, you're starting to see a lot of things that you know you heard about and saw the people.
And
so how do you take that? How do you go through that?
Prayerfully, and I'm not as delivered as
She's not as politically correct.
I'm not as delivered as Minister Carla.
You can get jiggy with it, right?
So they had
Butter
they talk, man, my facial expressions, I've been working on facial expressions for 8 years. And I'm, I had to talk myself down from reacting to a lot of things. It's been a testament of, it's been a test to my patience. Yeah. So I've seen some things, but like I said, for the most part, here my thing is I wake up every day. I try not to make emotional decisions. I try to make decisions based off of fact and what's in the best interest of the county.
Yeah.
And so I would say one time we had this gentleman who bought this. Rockdale County is called Rockdale County because it's a bunch of rock. Like on the northern end of our county, we have a whole bunch of granite.
So some of Stone Mountain fell over there.
Absolutely, it's all a part of Stone Mountain. So if you have granite, if you've seen granite, granite comes. That's what Rockdale is, a whole bunch of granite. So this gentleman bought, let's just say he bought 30 acres of granite. Wow. So the way that now. He wasn't blowing up granite to make gravel. He uses granite for granite tables and everything. So the way they extract granite now is there's a diamond tip on a laser and they cut through the rock and take it down and bring it up in these pillars. Well, a group of people who live way far away from this thing, they didn't want him to do that. And I not only did I go and look at the place a few times, I actually went to another, it's called a mineral extraction plant, and I saw the process. The noise, the traffic outside was louder than the noise from the bringing the granite. Then I made him have a community meeting because he had been up there. Right, to educate, but I wanted to hear, what the people had to say, but I didn't want it to be my meeting. So I made him have it. So I came and listened, and nobody said it was loud. Nobody said that it was a lot of dust. No, because they had to water down the
to keep the dust from
right
going everywhere.
To keep the dust. So they water down everything. They're bringing it up.
Comes with the water also. It's with the pressure.
Exactly. So none of them said that they just didn't want that man to want him there. And they had all this they had the media out, no mining, they had signs and everything. And it's just because they didn't
People just don't have nothing to do.
They were like, well, you're going to bring down my property values. And that wasn't true because the people who lived in that Tennessee city that I told you about, all their property values went up after the. So when it was, it's only 3 of us on Rockdale County Commission. So it only takes 2 of us to pass something. So myself and another commissioner voted for it. But this one lady, she was like, I'm just so disgusted with you. I'm just going to look at you for 3 minutes. And she stared me down for 3 minutes. And I was like, do you know all the stuff that I've been through in my life? I've been through so much more
than
You can
look at this superstar all day long if you want to.
Right. Some woman staring at me.
How long? It's just going to make me give you a good show.
Right. So it was
called cheese.
Exactly.
That part. You do it so well, too. Cheese. She said, you're a mess. I love it. Now, being a commissioner, in your time, in your days, I love you to pieces, in your time, in your days, what is something that we, the public, that we need to be educated or knowledge about in order to make your job easier or to make it easier for us, as the civilians out here in the world that you are?
I would say, become educated. Like, don't be emotional about things. Be educated. One of the big things now is housing affordability. So everybody nobody, when I say affordable housing, a lot of people are like, well, you bring in the ghetto, blah, 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 but affordable housing is housing for my daughter who works for the fire department. And right now she makes decent money, but if the starter houses are $350,000 to $400,000,
But it's less than the cost of living. Her paycheck.
right, exactly. She wouldn't be
upside
able to
down.
buy a house in the county. But we need all these people we need places for everybody in the county. So let's not make emotional decisions. Let's be educated before you're upset. Townhomes. Everybody's all upset about townhomes. But townhomes are the places that people want to live. I have a 4-bedroom, 2.5, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house. I don't need all that. I actually need a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a kitchen in the
townhome in Buckhead, in Jubilee,
Right.
And I love my townhome.
But when I tell you these people, a lot of people don't appreciate the townhomes until I tell them. A lot of people who are downsizing, they want the townhome. My friends, I don't have a lot of friends that have husbands. Maybe we need to start hanging out with people who have husbands and that'll, the law of attraction. But
okay, y'all better start doing some damn vision boards.
Right. The last time I did a vision board, I put Corey Booker on my vision board, and I still haven't got Corey. I'm still here.
Well, he ain't the one. Put somebody else up there. Just don't put no face. Put a sexy body and make it look like what you want to. God will bring the face here, bring it on in. Just wheel it on in.
See, that's my problem. If I don't do everything, that face, I be like, Lord, that's not what I want. Anyway. So
commissioning. You could have fun being a commissioner.
Oh, I have most of the time I have a good time. But it's serious work. It's nothing, especially where Rockdale is. We're in a place where we need to move forward. We've been stagnant for so long. We're the second smallest land-wise county, but we're the 27th largest population county in the state of Georgia. With that being said, we're a metro county, but we still have cows and horses and goats and
Monroe and all of y'all.
But that's back there.
That's Walton. That's Walton.
Right. We're considered a metro. So you come out to Rockdale and see a goat and a little piglet and stuff.
Country.
Yeah, we still got. So I want to keep that
from the other end. I'm in Decula. I can't talk.
Right. So we I love that about us. So we got to figure out how to keep some of that and still grow in a positive manner. So that's my biggest.
You just make it keep it the country part.
Yeah.
And then near your downtowns and all that, you build up your city.
And that's what we're doing.
You build up your city. Yeah. But when you go into the outskirts part of it, you leave it alone.
But the problem, like I said, the problem is that you have people who lived like that. I had a lady who lives on 300 and something acres, and she's 85 years old.
Honey, split that up.
So her the Land Beautiful has a lake that is I think the lake is like 10 acres itself. It is beautiful. So when a developer sees that, they're trying to put as many houses as possible on it. The community's in an uproar because they don't want any houses on it. They want to keep it the way it is. But I'm like, she's 85. Her children don't want it, the land anymore. They want the money. So when the developers come in, and she has to go into a nursing home,
they're gonna sell it right off.
So they want to sell it. So my thing is, okay, so how do we take this property and keep some of that integrity of wooded area? How do we keep this lake, but make it so that the people of the county can enjoy it also, and it's not all private? So that's some of what we're doing. I'm working with the
colleges. Search your colleges and look at your architect designers and find some of those greats.
So we're looking at, I'm working with the Urban Land Institute now, trying to figure out how we can put things in trust. And once we figure that out, we can do it to replicate that throughout the county. One of the things I'm been trying to do for 4 years. 4 years
Yeah.
is I want to do a demonstration garden with
I love that.
but part of my demonstration garden is going to be a meditation garden.
A ball player did that near Pascal's. he did. Yeah.
Well, he needs to come and do it in Rockdale. But
He only did about this big.
so ours is a couple of acres, and it'll be a place where you can go and meditate and have it'll be one part where we can grow food and teach people how to grow their own food, and we'll have a demonstration place where we are going to cook what we grew and do all of that.
That's beautiful.
But then the next part, it'll be a place where we can have yoga and sound meditation and things like that to relax. So I'm trying to get all of that together. That'll be another one of my legacies.
Well, I love it. What's the projected turnaround on that? You thinking about
So
more
because I've been talking about this thing for 4 years,
right.
it just so happened that, and I've been all over the country. So when I started this because I was in Houston at a golf tournament, and I was staying in this hotel, and I walked out the hotel, in whatever city, they had these orchards.
Oh.
And the orchards were designed so that if people could eat any time of the year if they're hungry. So I was like, wow,
Sounds
okay.
like Jamaica.
Right. So you could just pick the fruit off the trees, off the vines or
Yes.
whatever if you're hungry, and eat. And I was like, that's great. So that started me wanting to do a garden. And then I don't know anything about gardening. So I started doing the research and I joined this national gardens club and started going to their conventions and everything. So I started learning about the different gardens, the different medicinal properties of whatever plants, and just started learning. So now, because I've been talking about it so much, the University of Georgia came to me and said, we want you to apply for this grant.
Oh, wow. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Guys, when you put your best foot forward and you focus on what you really want and you hone in on that thing that you want and you put your passion in it, you'll get the results that this young lady just got.
Yeah.
Because that's a blessing.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
do you have anybody that you want to get some shout outs to?
Absolutely. My daughter, Jasmine, my
That's my
grandson.
daughter's name.
Oh, really?
My firstborn.
Yeah. My grandson, Kevin. The Covington area alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta, we are celebrating our 10th year anniversary, which is why I have on all this white. As soon as I leave here, I'm going to our anniversary celebration.
Oh.
The ladies of the National Council of Negro Women and the ladies of Top Ladies of Distinction. Oh, and then my fellow commissioner, Oz Nesbitt and Doreen Williams.
Well, honey, we just love you. We
thank
love you.
you.
I thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming down here and allowing us
As
to
many times as whenever you want me to come.
always bring some of them women of yours, your sorority group and the
honey.
Negro Women Commissioner. Bring them down here because Yana Lou wants. Let me tell you something. Chew and Chat with Yana Lou is to interview the elite.
Oh, wow.
So each person that has sat in these chairs is the elite.
Okay.
Because I only interview the great. I'm only in the house of the great.
Absolutely.
I'm only recorded by the great.
Absolutely.
And I'm only asserted from the great.
Absolutely.
So he puts these visions in us and we go forward. So my assignment is to put the spotlight on the next who's who.
Oh, thank you.
And that's what I did with you young ladies.
I am pleased and thank you so much for inviting me. This has been great, and
Blessings.
can't wait to come back.
Blessings. I can't. You already know you back. You already know you back. Well, you know, we got a spot over there in the podcast room.
Okay.
You know, always patronize us from 8:30 until 10 o'clock. We want to try to be in this podcast room. We're here every Friday.
Okay.
It follows right behind this show. I know you got to take off, Commissioner, but like I say, it is a joy.
Absolutely.
Guys, let me tell y'all something. Educate yourself about the positions in politics and know what these positions play and know who to go to.
Right.
Because sometimes if you don't know who to go to and what to do, then you're just lost in a sauce and you're never gonna get there is the time that you need. Right. But understanding these positions of these great people, and I thank God, you know what I'm saying? And yet again, Yana and Patrick has broken history with another beautiful person that is the first time as an African-American. Kudos to you, baby. Thank you.
Thank you.
It is so amazing.
Well, thank you.
Continue to come down and give her some information. Continue
Whenever.
to help us.
I
If
will.
there's anything that APAP Media can do, please let us know. We would like to cover anything that you have going on. Both of you ladies, if you guys have some stuff, we would love to cover it.
So one of the things I'm doing, Rockdale County is getting a new congressman. So for 20 years, we've been represented by Hank Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And so if he's successful in his reelection bid, David Scott will be the new commissioner.
Okay.
So on Sunday, I'm inviting both of you all. I'm having a meet and greet on Sunday with David Scott. The VIP is 1 to 1:30, and the actual the regular is from 1:30 to 3:30. So come on,
most definitely.
I'll send you the information, and you all
Send
come
it to me. And if, you know what, I wish, let me talk to Peace. Maybe, I don't know what him and First Lady are doing. Maybe we can come try to cover some of
Absolutely.
it. Or if he can't, I always bring my selfie stick, and I'm APAP's little baby doll.
There you
So
go.
I will be out with my APAP tag. I'm a reporter.
Okay.
One of APAP's reporters.
That
I
would
have
be
my
great.
tag up to 2030, thanks to APAP Media. So I report the news, and we'll come out. Hell, me
Okay.
and Carla come on together.
Absolutely,
real.
that's great.
Guys,
That is
look,
great.
this is what it's about on Chew and Chat with Yana Lou. I like to put the spotlight on the next who's who. I love to push people toward their goals and dreams. Guys, I just want you to wake up and look at these interviews and know that these people went through some tragedies, some stuff, some hell and hot water.
Big stuff.
Do you
Big
hear
stuff.
me?
Absolutely.
And right, Minister Carla, we went through some stuff.
Absolutely.
And the fact that we can get up and we can push ourselves, and like Minister Carla said, you got to get around that positive, that positive energy
Absolutely.
people that's going to continue to speak into you guys. And this is what it's about.
Absolutely.
Because I know my place. I am a reporter. I am an interviewer. I'm a director. I'm a writer, a singer, comedian. I know my talents. And all these things can be expressed in APAP Media. That's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in my lane. Now, when it comes to you being a commissioner, you're in your lane. You have that passion. You have that heart. You out here, doing those things. You stayed stick-to-itiveness for the 4 years until now it's coming to fruition.
Right.
And now they're blessing you with it.
Absolutely.
Minister Carla, she went through her ministerial training. She graduated. She was in a ministerial training with me. Because of my health, I could not graduate at the last part, which was the 30 days of wilderness with the pastor. Then I would have been ordained, right? But because of my health, I had to kick back. But I graduated out the class, but she finished. She didn't have any health issues in her way. She didn't have any of that. And God blessed her to continue on. And she's still at that church doing wonderful things.
Absolutely.
And that's why I wanted to bring her over here, because every time I turn around, I keep seeing my sister somewhere. I mean, me and Carla, we keep bumping. It's like bumping. But Carla and I, we hung together so tight at church. We was always together. We was Ace Spoon Coons. Her children are like my children, wonderful 2 children. And she's a woman of God, and God still has her in her big, beautiful home. So, God takes care of people who takes care of them.
Absolutely.
When you take care of God's business, He gonna take care of your business.
Absolutely.
So, guys,
Well, your business is his business. You're doing it for him.
that part.
It is absolutely his business, and that's what you have to. I had to understand. I know you signing off, but even with this third run, this is truly me being obedient, because I wasn't running. I wasn't going to run again. So
Amen.
I had to say, Lord, if this is what you want me to do, show me the signs, and all of the signs. I was like, well, I must. It must be what He wants me to do.
This is what He wants you to do.
So here
and
we
you
are.
look beautiful doing it, sister.
thank
I must tell you.
so
I thank
much.
you again, once
you.
again.
Thank you.
It is an honor to be able to interview you and to be able to break history with another great sister. You know what I'm saying, guys?
Thank you.
Black History Month is gone. February is gone. But let me tell you something. To me, Black History is every day because we are coming out. It is such an honor to see everybody in the newscasters and stuff like that. Guys, we'll see you next week. Listen, we're getting ready for a nightcap with Yana Lou and the crew here from 8:30 till 10 o'clock at night at APAP Media Radio live stream. If you would like to see that show, please go on to YouTube. Go on Go Productions. That's ONGO Productions with an S, and you can watch us live stream. And on that show, we talk about the topics that we expound on behind closed doors that need to be talked about in front of the light. And that's what we do here. So, guys, once again, I thank you for Commissioner Police coming down here.
Thank you.
I love to have you down here one more time. Please bring some of your
Whenever.
girls. I'm
And
telling
I
you.
have a couple of people I want you to interview. So.
Most definitely.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. I'm on your calendar. You're on mine.
Okay.
Guys, make sure you get your popcorn, your candy, your friends, and your family. Come watch True and Chat with Yana Lou next week, every single Friday from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, here with Patrick Parkins and I. We're at 5295 Stone Mountain Highway, Suite W, Stone Mountain, Georgia. If you have anything that you would like to talk about, please DM us, and that's apapmediainfo.com. Please go on there, find APAP Media, book appointment with Yana Lou, let Patrick know what you want to do, and we will take care of you. And peace until next week.